And I'm just going to explain and show you really fast how to find outliers in Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay. And I think this is big enough so you can see everything I'm about to do. But I want to go through my cells, and this is your data. Go ahead and put outlier, Q1, Q3, IQR, upper bound and lower bound. And this stands for first quartile, third quartile, inner quartile, upper bound, and lower bound. And as you can see, I have my data down here on the side, okay? All right, and we're looking for outliers. So let's begin and let's talk about how to actually look for outliers using Excel. So we'll go to your first quartile and go ahead and type equal and begin to type quartile. And you can see Excel will begin to load it. Go ahead and select it. Now you have array. Array will be the data that you're looking for, your outliers that you want to find your first quartile for. And then once you highlight, go ahead and click comma. And as you can see here, we're going to select first quartile. And go ahead and close that out. And you can see your first quartile will be 42.25. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for your third quartile. Hit equal. Begin to type quartile. Go ahead and select. As a reminder, your array will be the data that you want to find outliers for. Okay. Press comma, and we're going to select third quartile. And close it out. And now we know our third quartile is 93.25. And now let's find the inner quartile. Your inner quartile, if you go ahead and press equal, it's going to be your highest, which is your Q3, minus the lowest, which is Q1, okay? And now we know our inner quartile is 51, all right? And let's go ahead and find our upper bound and our lower bound. The upper bound is going to let us know anything above this number is going to be an outlier, and our lower bound will let us know that if anything is lower than this number, it will actually be a low bound outlier, okay? So when we look for upper bound, we're going to go ahead and press equal. And then we're going to find our upper, so we're going to select D2. We're going to put plus, in parentheses, 1.5 times our inner quartile. And we're going to close it out. And it's 169.75. And now let's do the lower bound. We're going to select equal. We're going to select our low number, our Q1. And then instead of plus, we're going to put minus. In parentheses, 1.5 times our inner quartile. And we're going to close it out. And now we know our upper bound is 169.75 and our lower bound is negative 34.25. So what does this mean? It means that any of our numbers that are above 169.75 will be an outlier, and any numbers we have in our data that's below negative 34.25 will also be an outlier. And you can look at my data and kind of eye and tell which ones will be above or below our upper and lower bounds, but I'm going to show you how to actually use it in Excel. Okay. When it comes to finding your outliers, we're going to use the OR function. So go ahead and hit equal and then type OR, and you have your OR function. And then we have to make some logical statements. And we're going to ask Excel to let us know if this cell is greater than our upper bound. And we're going to separate it with a comma so we can do our second logical statement. And we want to know, is this cell lower than our lower bound? And we're going to close it out. And no, it isn't. It's false. So this would not be an outlier. Now, remember before when I said, if you look at my cursor, if you double click on the box, it will fill in the rest for you. But this is going to be a little different. So before you click, go up to your data where you see F2. And we need to lock this in, because if you double click, it's going to change your upper and lower bounds, and it's going to give you wrong results, okay? So either you can highlight this F2 and put F4, or you can just put the $ before and after your letter and lock them in. There you go. And the $ lock in those cells. That way we can double click all the way down and it will not change. So now if I double click, we can see that 201 is an outlier and -50 is an outlier. And just to confirm, if you look at this true statement, 201 is definitely greater than 169.75, and also -50 is lower than -34.25. So class, I hope this is beneficial to you, and I hope that you can follow this step by step and actually learn how to calculate and look for outliers in Excel.